Hey there, DIY coders. Welcome to HTML Quickie, where we help you link the HTML puzzle pieces together. Before we get started, there will be a link down in the description below for you to check out. If you're just a beginner in HTML or you have no clue what HTML is, I recommend that you check out that link that goes to a video about HTML to get started. But if you're good, we'll go ahead and start learning what we have for you today. But before we can get started learning what I have for you today, let's have both your text editor out, your web browser out, and have both of those applications open to the file we'll be working on. And let's have the file browser or file explorer also open to the file that we're working on. You'll notice that we'll also have this style CSS here. Just ignore it for now. And let's have your text editor filled with this code that I have highlighted here. If you need a moment to pause the video, you go ahead and do so. If not, then we'll go ahead and get started. So what we will be learning here is the link tag, just like so. Now, before I go ahead and save and all that jazz, you'll notice that I've written the link tag within the head tag. So what's going on there? So first of all, what the heck's the head tag? So the head tag is basically the initial information that you give to the web browser to help the browser understand how to generally handle the content provided within the body tag, or give some surrounding information about the web page itself. So in this case, for what we will learn about this link tag, and I say that specifically because there's various things to learn. We'll be learning this one thing. So we'll be learning how to link the style sheet, which is found here, into this document we're editing. All right. So just keep your attention to the text editor for now. We'll get to the style.css file in a bit. So there will be some attributes you have to use in order to link this file to this file we're working on right now, which is like right here in my folder. All right. So now what we want to do here is type in the attribute rel equals to quote style sheet. All right. Okay. So what does rel stand for? First of all, it stands for relationship. So what this attribute does is to indicate the relationship of the file we'll be linking to this index.html, which is over here, and which is the file we are editing right now. And so what we need to do next now is indicate where that file is. So bear with me here. Okay, so we know the file name is style.css, and that's what we have to specify here. So style.css. All right. Okay, so we'll save. Now I have the file here. Please just watch for demonstration purposes. I'll try to get you through this step by step. This is gonna be a little more hard to teach you as a beginner, so just bear with me. So now I refresh the page and you see nothing happens. It is expected because the content is supposed to be within the body tag and not within the head tag. Again, what the link tag does is provide initial information and nothing more. All right. So in this case, we're trying to link the style sheet here, this file style sheet, to the HTML file. All right. So now that we've done that, so I'll demonstrate what this can do when you link what is a CSS file to the index file. So we'll start off with this p tag here, right? And we will type in the word text. We'll save and we'll refresh the browser. And you notice that we have for some reason, red colored text. So what is going on here? Okay, so there's gonna be a lot of fill in the blanks here now at this point. So what we have here, this file has CSS code that makes this text red here, or that makes it show on the web page as red text. All right, so if you don't know what CSS code is, do not worry. You don't need to learn it so much right now. This is more or less for demonstration purposes, for you to be prepared for CSS. I will eventually link a CSS tutorial down in the description below for people who have no clue about CSS. But for now, just try to follow along with me as I try to guide you through this. So right now, if you were to do this yourself, you can't adjust the color at all, as you don't even have the CSS file to be able to do that. So now let's go ahead and show you how to make that file. So what I'm going to do is actually delete this, right? And then we'll refresh the browser. Okay, now the text is black. So we're gonna start from here. What I'll need you to do, and this is going to be different for different operating systems, is that you're going to, generally what you're going to do is create a new file. So what I'm going to do is go to File and create new document and make an empty document. And so we're going to have to name this file in a specific manner. So in order to link these two files together, the index.html and what will be style.css, is that you have to specify within the index.html file that this is the same file name, which is right here, with this file that we're making. So we're going to call this style.css. All right. Now we're going to write some CSS code just to demonstrate what happens here. So before we do that, we'll just do a save on the text editor and a refresh on the browser to demonstrate to you that nothing will change. All right, so if you do that, you'll notice nothing has changed as we have added the style.css file, because there is nothing in the style.css file right now. Previously, we had some code in the style CSS file before I deleted it, and now we'll start writing some style CSS code. So I need you to write this exactly what I write, just so that you don't end up with the wrong results. So we're gonna type P, and we're gonna use curly braces, and then we'll just make this opened like this, and then we'll type I'll add two spaces here, and then I'll type in color, a colon, and we're going to type the word red here, and then we're going to type a semicolon. We will save here, and we can refresh the browser now, and you'll see that it will render the red text. And to demonstrate that this CSS file does need to be linked to the HTML file in order for it to use the CSS code, we will delete this, and then we'll save the index HTML file, refresh the browser, and there you go. Now we know for sure that there's two things we need to do if we want to link a CSS file. We have to, first of all, have the CSS file, and second of all, we must add the link tag with all the relevant information to link the CSS file we have here. So another thing I want to teach you is the type of values you can have within the href attribute. So right now you see this style.css name, file name, which matches the file name we have over at the file explorer or the file browser that we have here. And say this was actually in the style CSS was in a different folder. So we create a different folder, right? And we'll call this folder. right? We'll move the style CSS here. But before we do that, excuse me, we want to make sure this is turned red to better demonstrate what's going on. So right now the text is red. We move the style.css to the folder, right? And then we refresh the browser, and you notice that the text turns back to black. We no longer have the style.css file linked to the HTML file, as it's not in the place that's been specified. So here we're looking for the style.css file, and the file is named style.css. The issue being is that it's in a different location from the index.html file. So there is a way to specify that. So I'll show you the most easiest way. So we have something called a relative file path. So here's how you can specify a relative path. So a relative path will start with a ./. All right. And we're going to type in the folder name, which is folder in our case, right? And then we add a / in between the folder name and the style.css name. Now, watch what happens when I save and refresh. All right, so we'll save the file, refresh the browser, and now we have the red text that we originally have. So there's another type of file path called the absolute file path. And what that file path looks like, it will look generally like so. All right, and so that's not quite right. So what is an absolute file path? So an absolute file path is the full address in which we need to get to the file we are looking for. Let me give you some imagery so that I can guide you on how this absolute file path is written. So first of all, we have this /, the very first /. Imagine that this / is like the cabinet itself, so that this includes all the files and folders. And then what we have here is what would be called the home folder. Now within the home folder, not only can we put files into the home folder, but we can also put other folders into the home folder. And so what we do in order to move on to the next folder is use a /. Then we add the name of the next folder we wish to open. So in our case, it is Terrence Ban. And then if we want to move on to the next folder, we just simply add a / and add the name of the folder again. And then so on and so forth, to the point where we can find the particular file that we want to link to the HTML file here, which is style.css. All right, so to demonstrate that this actually works, let me get rid of this link tag first of all. We'll save, and we'll refresh the browser. You'll notice that it doesn't work. Okay, we'll bring it back, we'll save, refresh, and it works. Now keep in mind that it's most likely that my file path here is not going to be the same as yours. So how I did it personally for my computer is that all I have to do, my particular file browser or file explorer will give me the path to where this file leads to. So we have all the folder names that lead to the style CSS file, right? Just like so. And again, we need to add the file name, which is style.css. We'll save and refresh. Still works. Just to give you some visual reference, if we did not include this, save and refresh, it will not work. So you make sure that you have the correct path. But again, for simplicity, if we want to make it easy, we just need to make sure we use this relative path and include the folder name, folder, to lead to the file style.css. And we'll save and refresh to make sure it still works, and it is working. Okay, if you like this video that I put so much effort into, please connect your mouse click to the like button. If not, you can connect your mouse click to the thumbs down button. And if you found this hard to understand at all, no worries, you can leave a comment down below. And if you think I've earned it, you can hit that subscribe button somewhere on this YouTube webpage here. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to stay up to date to all of the videos that I upload to YouTube. That's it for now. I thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.